Good morning, everyone. My name is Louise Golden from Clarity Crafts here in the UK. Welcome to Groovi Tuesday. Hope everybody is well. The weather outside is a bit overcast, so typical June weather. It always seems to be a little bit overcast and a bit drizzly this time of year, doesn't it, in June? I think it usually is about the same time as in the same month as the tennis, because whenever I used to watch the tennis, it always used to be drizzly and raining, and all they'd be doing was opening and shutting the roof on centre court one. Open, shut. So yeah, I suppose that's normal June weather. So I'm just waiting for the all clear from Jane to see if the sound is good. Fingers crossed. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to hear me, and it would be very sad. So how is everybody? I hope everybody is well. Hope you had a good weekend. It's all go here. Good morning, Jane. Yeah, it's all go here. There's lots of things going on. So there's we've got a nice hobby craft hobby maker show on Friday, so that's exciting with a new plate. So yeah, they're really nice at the new plate as well. I've had a little bit of a play with them, and I've managed to do 2 cards this time, so I got a little bit more done. Oh, good morning, everyone. Everybody's coming in now. That's brilliant. Hello out there. Sounds all good. Okay, thank you, Jane. So yeah, here we are again. I can't believe a whole week has gone since I was last here. It feels like the weeks just seem to get faster and faster, and you wonder where the time's gone. I chilled out quite a little bit the weekend. I did a little bit of my design team work, but yeah, I was so knackered. I did a little bit in the garden, and I watched a little bit of telly. You know, had a proper veg weekend. You know, vegging out, just relaxing and stuff. It was nice. Yeah. Watched a few films, so yeah, it's nice to watch a few films with my mum. We were watching, we've got into Wuthering Heights. I've never watched it before, and I think we watched Emily first, which is a program about Emily Bronte's life. It was like a little film about her, and me and Mum, we thought, oh well, we haven't actually watched Wuthering Heights. So we wanted to know what it was all about. So yeah, we've gone through a little bit of a craze. We watched the first one. We watched what was it? The one with Ralph Fiennes as Heathcliff. We watched that one first. So that was 1994 one, I believe. And then we watched last night. We watched the one with Timothy Dalton as Heathcliff. That was really, really good. You kind of see a little bit. It's really interesting, the different adaptations of different films. You know, like how different directors take it into different directions. It's like the one with Ralph Fiennes. He was you saw a little bit more of Kathy's daughter, whereas in the one with Timothy Dalton, you don't see that part at all. He dies in a different way. So yeah, it's interesting, the different adaptations, and I've never seen them before. Yeah, sorry. Jane's here if you need any questions, any help at all. Jane will be there. But yeah, I just thought it's really interesting. I've never watched them before, because when I was at school, we did Pride and Prejudice in our English A level, GCSE rather, but we never did Wuthering Heights. Another class did Wuthering Heights, so I've never seen it before, but it was really interesting. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so where are we? So we've been doing this project here for a little while. Let's have a look. Ta-da! Oh, seems beautiful. There's my tea there. Has everybody got a cup of tea? As you can see, I've got one too. Let's bring it in a little bit more. It seems to be a bit far away. There we go. Move that. Yes, I love having a Jane Austen fest. Really lovely thing is Pride and Prejudice. I love the series. because you get about 6 hours of it and you get a decent storytelling in it. But the direction of the one with Keira Knightley in the film of Pride and Prejudice, I just love the cinematography of the film. It's so beautiful. Okay, so yes, so we're here. So these are from, I know that we've been doing this for the last four weeks, I think. So obviously they're using these plates here, which are really nice, and you can all different squares. You could create little gift cards for people with those. So yeah, so they're really lovely. So that's where this card comes from. So we've used this little flower here. Here's this one, and then we've used, I love this one. This one's really nice because I've used this in the stems and the little bits there. So yeah, so those are the ones that we've been using. So that's where we're heading. So last week, yes, I like a cup of tea too, Josie. So last week we ended up here. So I did this for my homework. I finished the outside. So I used the one needle. You could use the fine or the bold just to go around the outside. So I thought today what I'd do is I was going to picot cut in these little bits, and then we will focus on, I'm going to use the straight grid. You can use the 4 needle tool if you wanted to go around the inside here. I'm going to use the straight grid and the bold straight grid. So you can see there's different ways in which you can do it. You can use the grid, or you can use your 4 needle tool to go around the outside. You can use the fine or the bold. The fine will give you a very, very delicate border. So this is the border I'm talking about, is here, which looks really lovely if you're doing it on the outside of a card on one layer, and then on the second layer you have another tool. So it looks really delicate when you do it like that. So yeah, so that's where we are at the moment. No, I haven't actually been to Jane Austen's museum in Bath. I've never been to Bath. I really would love to, because I know a lot of Jane Austen programs usually they usually are directing towards Bath, or they talk about Bath or Brighton, you know. And yeah, I would really like to go to Bath. Going to Cornwall this year. I'm looking really forward to that. I haven't been to Cornwall in a very long time. Going to Perranporth, which yeah, I've never, I don't think, well, apparently I've been there when I was very little, but I don't remember that. Okay, there we go. So back to this one. So yeah, so we're going to have a little picot perforating, and going to cut these ones out. I've got to still re-perforate everything, but I thought if I do this a little bit, I'm just going to perforate these and perforate this, and then next week we can start cutting it out. Once we've cut out this little bit, then we can I've got this pink bit of parchment here, and then we're going to lay that on top. Then we're going to put a nice little, once this is cut out, so we can put one of the rub-ons underneath on the pink parchment, and then I will brad it down. Brad it down. I'm trying to think of the word. I'm going to attach it to the pink piece of parchment. That's the word. Well done, Louise. Yeah, so then we're going to cut this out, put that on the pink bit of parchment. Then we're going to create the other tool behind it. And then we've got our rub-on that's going to go on the pink bit of parchment. And then we should be nearly there, but that might take, we'll be doing that next week as well, I think. And then after next week, we've got another project to start, which I think we're going to start on the new plate that's coming out on Friday. So, and I think you'll really, really, really love that plate. I love it. Really good. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my Pico foam and my super foam because I'm going to start perforating. Here we go. Also, what I wanted to shine a light on is, where's my other bit of parchment? So, oh, it's gone a bit dizzy. Ooh, that's funny. Okay, so in this little bit here, sometimes there's little bits in here that you can't always cut out. So I wanted to show you the difference between these 3 lines here. Let me come in a little bit. Press. There we go. Hopefully it will start to. There we go. Okay, so these 3 lines here. So this is the two needle bold. I've just quickly done these lines just before the hour started. So yeah, so this is the 2 needle bold here. This is the 2 needle fine. So you can see the dots are a little bit smaller. So obviously the holes are a little bit smaller and a bit closer together. This one here is the 2 split tool. So this is the tool I'm talking about. Very rarely gets mentioned, but hello, there you go. You can see a little bit more there. It's almost, the picture of it is the 2 dots are almost connected. Oof, it didn't come apart then. So you can see, let me try on the 3rd camera. There we go. Oh, that's far away. Hello. I think you can see it there. So it's the 2 needle, but they're very, very close together. Oh, secret stuff, Josie. I know, there's so many secret plates at the moment. Yeah, really exciting month coming up. Really looking forward to it. Yeah, so this is the 2 split tool. So as you can see, the perforating holes are very, very close together, but they're really, really good in getting into places. So for example, say your 2 needle fine, they're very good at getting into places that you might not be able to get into with your tools. Yeah, the 2 split tool is really handy for those sort of things. So I'm gonna use it today, just because it doesn't get enough chat. It doesn't get a mention quite a bit, but it is really handy to get into little gaps. You don't have to use it on all of the project, but just, for example, they're just so close together that sometimes you just need that to get right into the corner. And also, what it's good for is, obviously it's never as good as your Pico cuts that you would do with your normal Pico scissors. And I don't know whether you can really see that very close. Oh wow, I've got super zoom. Thank you, Paul. I didn't realise I had super zoom on here today. So it's not. You can see here, they're very, very, very tiny little picos, and I've just used a 2 needle, the 2 split, and I've just, like a stamp, you can perforate it and then pull it apart. That's what you can do with this, but it's never going to be as good as your picos that you would do yourself. But you can give it a go along a line, and you can kind of tear it apart, and it gives you a tiny little bump. It's not a pico, never as good as the ones that you're going to create yourself, but it's really handy in other ways of getting into small little areas. So I just wanted to shine a light on that, because it is a really handy tool to have. If a lot of us probably have it in our stash. Oh, good, yeah. Bernie, yeah, it's really, it is. Where are you going now? There we go. Oh, hello, goodbye. Where are you going? Come back. Sorry. There we go. get so excited about tool, I've forgotten how to use cameras. Okay, so where's my Groovi guard? So I'm going to use it to go into this area, so you can really see it's really handy to get into small areas. Can we see? Just going around the curves here. There we go. So you can go back in with your needle tool again, just to make the holes a little bit larger. There we go. But it's really good in getting into, like, say here. Let's go back into super zoom. Oh, hello. There you go. So you can see it gets it right into all of the corners that your 2-needle fine or 2-needle bold might be a little bit, the needles might be a little bit too far apart to get right into some of the corners. So yeah, so that's a really, really handy tool. So I'm going to just keep going with my 2-split. If you don't have it, you can use your 2-needle fine. I just wanted to just shine a light on it because a lot of us have it in our stash, but probably never use it. There you go, then you can go back in, make the holes larger. There you go. So let me really see the Pergamado gel pen. It's really shiny. I like shiny and I like glittery. I know many others do as well. And it's yeah, so it's just a really handy tool. Definitely one to think about if you wanted to get into really little fine corners, and it's perfect. So what is the weather like where you are? Because it's very overcast and a bit chilly outside where we are. It wasn't very nice at the weekend either. Definitely crafting weather. I was glad to be inside watching adaptations of Wuthering Heights. I'm just moving my there we go. You can see they're oh sorry, I was out of picture. Very easy to do sometimes. I'm just going to re-perforate into these holes just to make them a little bit larger. Does anyone actually have a 2-split tool in their stash? And have you used it? Oh, book fair. I'd love to go to a book fair. I love books. I don't have as much time to read because I do a lot of crafting now. But sometimes when you can't sleep at night time, sometimes reading a book does really help. But sometimes I struggle because if I get into a book, it will stop me from sleeping because I want to know what's going on in the next chapter. I've done that before, like when I was at college years ago. I'd be up reading all night because I'd be wanting to know what happened at the end before I went to college. Oops. My brain can't see. Brain, eyes can't see. For some reason, I feel like I have a little bit of hay fever today. Like my eyes are watering a little bit. But I didn't think it looked like it. I suppose it doesn't have to look like it's summer for the pollen to be too much. There we go. Sun's trying to come out in Leicester. I think it did actually rain overnight where we are as well. So that is one corner done. There we go. Oh, morning, Glynis. How are you? Are you feeling better? Yes, reading does help. I really do think it does. I love the thought of, I mean, it's amazing our imaginations, how we can build worlds in our head from reading a book. It's like, and we all see, even if we were reading the same book, we'd all see it in a different way because of all our imaginations are so different, which I find really, really quite interesting. It's like when, for example, when I was a child and Harry Potter first came out, some of the characters were exactly how I perceived them that they would be, but some were completely different, or like Hogwarts, for example, was so different in my head to what it was on the film. It's just amazing to see. Hang on a minute, where's that gold pen? I missed a bit. How rude. How did I miss that? There we go. That's better. Everything's all right in the world now. Yes, audiobooks are good as well. Sometimes sometimes it's easier sometimes to have an audiobook, I find. It just depends on my mood. Sometimes I quite like to have the story read out by somebody, I suppose and then sometimes I like to read the words themselves. Sometimes I like to have a book in my hand. And then sometimes it depends what I'm doing as well. If I'm doing something, then reading an audiobook is, well, listening to an audiobook is really, really good. Our lovely Grace does the narration for some really lovely books. The Crimson Moth. It's called something different in America, and I can never remember. And then Rebel Witch. My brain's gone doolally. And then Traitors of Sherwood Forest is another one, I think. Don't know why my voice went squeaky then. But yeah, they're. I'm just going back through some of the holes. It's a very, very wonderful skill to be able to to read out books, because it's not just the notion of just reading a book out loud. You kind of have to know how to do it, you know. You have to make the book sound really, you know, get people interested in it. And I think Grace does that so well. Really gets people enraptured in the book. Okay. I've got the witchy books. Heartless Hunter. Thank you, Jane. Yes, I never remember. It's very, very annoying. Now I've forgotten what it was. Yeah. Crimson Moth. I just forgot what it was in this country then. But yeah, they're really lovely books. Definitely worth a read or a listen. I do both. Sometimes I listen and I'll have the book in my hand. I like to have the book sometimes, but then to be able, it feels like story time with a friend, doesn't it? When you listen to an audiobook. Yes, yeah, that annoys me too. When you imagine something in your head and then the film gives you a completely different representation of what you think. Yeah, that could be annoying. Or sometimes the film just does not do the book justice. Oh, I'm going to have a sip of my tea. Oh, and I'm out of shot. Excellent. There we go. Back in. Yes, I agree. I like the Crimson Moth title. I wonder why they decided to call it something different in America or something different in the UK, whichever one was it's supposed to be. Because that's just very confusing. I remember when I watched that and I thought, oh, there's another book called The Heartless Hunter. And then I read that it was the same book and I thought, I suppose it's a bit like when they call Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone over in America. Maybe in America they, I don't know, maybe philosopher means something different over there. Or maybe it's just easier to say Sorcerer's Stone. But I don't know, that's confusing at the beginning because I had people online were calling it the Sorcerer's Stone when I was younger. And I thought, it's not, it's the Philosopher's Stone. Yeah, definitely, Anne. Give the two split tool a try because it is. I mean, I know I'm using it on all of it now, but it really is worth giving it a go if you've got it in your stash. Definitely worth giving it a go. So this afternoon we're obviously shining a light on something that's been in everybody's stash for quite a while, maybe. But some of you may not have seen it. Some of you may be new and may not have seen it. Linda Williams did these lovely frosted florals. So we're going to be shining a light on that this afternoon. They are beautiful designs. I absolutely love them. Perfect for learning your embossing or colouring techniques. Both very, very good for that. Okay, so the UK publisher kept the original title of The Crimson Moth. Okay, I've got you, Jane. But so the UK version is what it should be called, and then the American version, they changed the title. Gotcha. Oh, yes. I've actually, I haven't read Flowers in the Attic, but I have seen the program. There was a film on it. Yeah, they're very special books. She's done quite a few actually for Virginia Andrews. She had the Flowers in the Attic, didn't she? And then there's some other ones. I can't remember all of them. I know one of them's called Heaven. That's quite good as well. I've read a few. Me and my mum, we tend to go through stages. We like to watch different adaptations. So, for example, we'll have a Catherine Cookson fest, or a Virginia Andrews fest or something, and we'll try and find as many programs or films as the author has done. So I love a good Catherine Cookson film. They're really good. I love what's it called? Has the man from Downton Abbey in it, but he's a lot younger. I think it's called The Glass Virgin, I think. But that was a really good Catherine Cookson film. I've read some of the books as well. Okay, so I'm on the last corner now. But yeah, the Flowers in the Attic. It's an interesting read, but yeah, it's a little bit bizarre. But something very different to what I've watched or read before. Yeah, it's very, very odd. It's like the grandma or the mum comes to the house, and it's a secret from the granddad in the house, and they lock the children in a room, but it leads onto the attic, and they stay there for 2 years. And I think the little boy, because they're obviously malnourished and not very cared for, it's not. One of the little boys dies. I think they're twins. But yeah, very, very different program. So I'm just trying to. I've been nosy in the comments, seeing what everybody's talking about. Yeah, I love a good read. So if anybody has any recommendations for any audiobook or a book, I need a new book. And if anybody has any recommendations of something that they've read that's good, let me know. I could do with a new book. Yes, Karen. They had. I don't know if you've watched Heaven. That was by the same author, Virginia Andrews. That was on recently as well. She's done quite a few different things. They always seem to follow the same format. No, I haven't actually. The Seven Sisters books. No, I've never read those. No, I'll check that out. I'll make a note of that. Seven Sisters. No, I'll have a look. I do love I've always been quite old-fashioned in what I enjoy. It's like I grew up watching older films. Used to like watching black and white films. Some people in my family were big Elvis fans, so when I was younger, I used to watch all of the Elvis films. I used to love listening to Elvis music. Has anybody seen The Wicked Lady? That's quite good. That's a black and white film. Well, one of them is anyway. I think there's a few adaptations. The lady in it, she was also in. Oh, I'm out of focus. Sorry, guys. She was also in Slipper and the Rose as the stepmom. Can't remember her name. My mum knows. I want to say Margaret somebody. But yeah, The Wicked Lady. That's quite good. But yeah, growing up, I used to sometimes would watch the same films over again. So I had a lot of Elvis films, and then my two favourite films growing up as a child was Slipper and the Rose. So it's a little bit like a Cinderella storytelling, but it's a musical. It had Richard Chamberlain in, and oh my gosh, what's her name? Gemma Craven, I think. She was very pretty Cinderella, she was. Yeah, that was a good film. But yeah, I used to love watching Elvis films. So my favourites were Blue Hawaii and GI Blues. I used to absolutely love those two. All right, let's come out a little bit. Oh, blimey, where are you going? Come back. Not that much. There we go. That's better. Yes, Margaret Lockwood. That's it, Josie. Yes. Yeah, she was in The Wicked Lady, and then she was in Slipper and the Rose. That was a really good film. I used to love that. That, and I grew up watching Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. I don't know if anybody has ever seen that, but I used to love the dance scenes in it, and the singing was. I just used to love that as a child. But yeah, it was really, really nice film growing up. I used to watch that all the time. Okay, so now I have perforated, which has taken me 40 minutes. But we're not on a time frame, we're okay. So yeah, I've just perforated with the two split needle tool around that. So when I actually get to perforate it, I may need to just make the holes a little bit larger. But that's that. So that's a really handy tool if you wanted to get into small little areas. Yes, me too. As a child, I had a little crush on Richard Chamberlain in Slipper and the Rose. He was the prince in Slipper in the Rose. Yeah, so he was so handsome, I thought, Richard Chamberlain was. Okay, so yes, so that's that bit. So now, oh yeah, and Thornbirds. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with my, let me come out a bit. Hello, coming out. There we go. There we go. So I've got my straight grid. And I've got my, not that. So yes, so you can use your 4-needle tool. Or, oh, Josie, you've got Seven Brothers on DVD. Yeah, me too. Oh yes, Calamity Jane. Oh, I used to love that as well. I used to love Calamity Jane. I still love the dresses. When I was a child, that's all I wanted, some of the dresses. Okay, so I've got my Groovi sticker tab still attached to my tool caddy. Oh, there we go. So I'm just lining up. Might need to come in a bit closer here. But yeah, I used to love, absolutely love, yeah, Calamity Jane, Seven Brothers, Slipper in the Rose, Elvis films. Yeah, I wasn't too much of a cartoon person growing up. I mean, I used to watch Disney films, but always on a Sunday I'd be watching old films. You know, the Sunday afternoon. Okay, so what you want to do is you just want to line up your straight grid. And just, you can perforate one line first, like so. And then you can perforate the next. Okay, like so. And then you just work your way around. So you might want to leave a gap in the corners. For the next. There we go. So just working our way around, and you might want to, for example, here, there's a little bit of a gap, which we can do a little embossed dot in the corner if you wanted to. Yeah, I'm just going to work my way around. I love holding a good book in my hands. But yeah, sometimes when you're reading late at night, all of a sudden you hear a thud, which wakes you up when you hear the book fall to the floor. I'm just going right up to where the flower is. more. There we go. So just carrying on into the corners there. There we go. Oh. We were looking at the front garden the other day. Well, we don't really have a front garden, but our house kind of leads on to a green. But round by the side of the house, we have a rose that's kind of gone a little bit wild. So we have like wild roses now in our front garden, and there's about 200 flowers on this plant. We didn't really realise because we don't go out the front and around the corner that much. But yeah, we saw it the other day, and there's loads on there, wild roses. So you know where those will be going. There we go. So I've done it around the right way as normal. It's upside down. So just use the straight grid to just go around like so. So what you can do now is, when you've taken the Groovi stick tabs off, they're in the way. So you can turn your mat upside down, then turning your work upside down as well. So now, just using my 2 needle, so I was just finishing the cup of tea before it went cold. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, as you can see on this one, I kind of embossed in one and then cut one out, and embossed in one and cut one out. So we're going to do that. Yeah, it's really, really lovely to see all of the flowers on there, and like you're saying, the bees really do love them. I mean, there's quite a few out there. So when they start falling, the petals start falling, we can nab them. And the bunny and the guinea pigs will be very, very happy. I went go outside this morning to feed our rabbit. He's so funny. Sometimes he comes to you, but this morning, rabbits are so funny. For some reason, they get the hump, and you don't know why they've got the hump. I'm saying, Arwen, your food's here. He looked at me and turned his back on me. I was like, oh, it's like that, is it? Okay. Sometimes they can be a little bit more aloof than cats can be sometimes. It's so funny. I just thought, what have I done? Usually, as soon as I open the door, he's got a really, really large pen that he can sprint around and in the garden. It's a huge pen, and he gets so excited in the morning to see me. He's sprinting around, and then as soon as I open the door, he's got his food in the bowl of veg. He puts his nose right in there before you even get a chance to put it in his little bowl. But yeah, this morning, I don't know, there might have been a cat that had come into the garden, and spooked him. But I mean, there's a cat that he likes, but for some reason there's so many cats in our garden. I think they come in there to go to sleep. Yeah, they come in and they go to sleep. And yeah, it's weird. They go to sleep, and but there is one that plays with him. They kind of like you can see that they like each other because they play together. They kind of chase each other along the side of the pen. But I think there's some cats in there that go in there that he doesn't like. I mean, Arwen, he's so big. His hind legs, they're like, he looks like a hare. He is a mahoosive bunny. He needs his booster soon. That's going to be fun. Trying to get him into a cage to go to the vets will be hilarious. I might have to ask my brother. He seems to be all right being picked up by my brother. But if I do it, try and put him in the cage, he'll be like, "I shall not be caged," and he'll go off on one. There we go. So now I've embossed in one, which actually looks, if you didn't want to cut this out, it looks really nice as it is, just as a little pretty detail in the inside. So yeah, so even if you didn't want to cut it out, that's just a really lovely detail to put in a card. But we are going to cut that out probably next week now, because we ain't got time for that. But what I will start doing is with my one needle, and not on my soft side of my mat, I'll turn it back over and get my Pico foam and my super foam. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start reperforating. So I'm going to reperforate in here. I'm using the one needle fine, this is, but you can use the one needle bold, just you don't need to go all the way down with the one needle bold. But I've got the one needle fine. So I'm just going to reperforate just ever so slightly. I mean, this one's okay because I've gone down a straight grid, so it's just really about making the holes the same size, really. But it's such a pretty, this is a really lovely design if you're putting it on the inside of a tool work or something, because it's very delicate. So yeah, just reperforating. Oh, thank you, Lillian. Glad you think it's pretty. It is a really lovely, delicate finish to a card. I like it anyway. But once it's cut out, it looks really pretty as well. But it looks pretty even if you were just using it as a little decorative element on a card. You do have to sometimes be a little bit careful. For example, if you're using your 4-needle tool, a fine tool, sometimes these bits can be so delicate that sometimes if you're using, especially like the fine tool, sometimes you can snap them off accidentally. So best thing to do is to, if you're using a 4-needle tool, is to perforate the outer ones, but don't weaken the inside of the parchment if you're using a 4-needle tool, because the bigger the hole next to this line, these ones on this side, the bigger they are, when you start cutting them with your Pico cutters, whichever ones you're using, you're twisting the parchment and you're moving it so much. So sometimes these ones that are already the hole's quite large, they can sometimes snap off accidentally. So if you're using your 4 needle tool, you might just want to perforate the outer ones a little bit more, but not so much the inner perforations, so as not to weaken the parchment too much on the inside of that. When I started using this design, I had a few mishaps with that. But yeah, using a straight grid really helps because they're a little bit larger, so they're not as intricate or delicate as if you were using the 4 needle fine tool around the edge. But I think the straight grid's enough for this design. There we go. Any film with Patrick Swayze? Yes. Ghost. Oh, I love Ghost and Dirty Dancing. There was a film that he did called Something House. I think he saved like a nightclub or a bar from getting, I think it was this gang that wanted to take over, and he taught them how to fight these people off. Can't remember what it was. Can't remember what the Roadhouse. Yes, that's it. Thank you, Lynn. Thank goodness I have you guys when my brain's not working and I can't remember the name of things. There's always someone that comes to my rescue when my brain is not working. So yes, I'm just reperforating into all of the elements. So for example, around here, yes, Roadhouse, yeah, it's a good film. I like Roadhouse. Brilliant film with him in it. He's done some really, really good films. Has anybody seen Keeping Mum? It had Maggie Smith in and Patrick Swayze in. I mean, the only thing is Patrick Swayze wasn't a nice guy in it. But it kind of shows how good he was as an actor, because he could play different roles. He could play a good guy and a bad guy. But Keeping Mum, it's so funny. It's a very funny film. Has anyone seen it? But yeah, Maggie Smith. It was on actually just after she passed away. They had a few films that she was in. Oh, The Secret Garden. Oh, I love The Secret Garden with Maggie Smith in that one. That's a really good one. I've noticed I quite like I like films that are kind of moody and usually have like the Moors on it or something. Because growing up I used to love The Secret Garden. That was a really good film. Or I used to watch Oliver Twist, the 60s version. I think it's 60s version. With Oliver Reed. Oh, Oliver Reed. I had a crush on him when I was younger as well. The moodiness. Yeah, so just reperforating all holes. Yeah, I love Maggie Smith as well. She was a brilliant actress. I loved her sense of humour, so dry. She was brilliant in Harry Potter as well. The perfect McGonagall. Although, the actress they've got to play McGonagall this time in the new Harry Potter series that's going to be coming out, it's very good. I think her name's Janet McTeer. She was in The White Queen. That's another really good series if you wanted to watch a good series. The White Queen. Anything Philippa Gregory is good. I love that kind of history. Yes, Maggie Smith in Downton Abbey. Oh my gosh. That would not have been the same without Maggie Smith. She just made it. Her dry wit and sense of humour is hilarious. Oh, I've just noticed the time. Oh, okay. I was getting a little bit carried away. Gosh, where did that time go? Where did it go, everyone? Please tell me. There we go. So, yeah, so at the moment, so we've done this little inner part. We've perforated in here. So next week, I'm going to cut this bit out. I've got to reperforate around the edges as well. So lots of reperforating and cutting out. And then we're going to use the pink parchment underneath. So you'll see, once I've cut this little bit out, you'll see the, I'll get the not peel-offs, for goodness sake, the rub-ons. And I'm going to put that on there and then just do the outer work. And then I think that should be a close on that one. I don't know if we'll get that all done next week. We might do. If I do all the reperforating as homework. Yeah, I'll do all the reperforating as homework. And then when we come back, we can just do the cutting out of that bit. Well, thank you, everyone, for a lovely hour. Yes, I like everything with Henry VIII. Anything to do with Henry VIII. The other Belinga was really good as well. But yeah, so many interesting things. Okay, so it was lovely to spend an hour with you. We've got at 2 p.m. we've got another show with Paul as well, Paul and myself, and we're going to be doing the frosted florals and the groovy, the stamps, the parchment as well. So there's some really lovely designs. So check out the TV section on the website if you wanted to pre-order them before that we show them at 2 p.m. I mean, they've been out, but if you're new to them, you'll probably really fall in love with them, because I did when I first saw them. But yeah, so I'll see you at 2 p.m. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your day until then. And take care, everyone. Thank you very much, Jane, for helping out as well. Thank you very much. Great. Take care, everyone. Bye.